This is We Burlesque. This is We Burlesque Podcast, and I'm your host, Victor Devon, and this is the music that made we, where I talk to nihilist individuals in the field of drag, burlesque, and cabaret about the songs that have inspired them both on stage and off, and possibly are the songs that got them there in the first place. I'm very excited to have a returning friend. Welcome back to the virtual stage, Vena Kahlo. Hello, hello.
Hi, thanks for having me.
My pleasure. So you were in the last season where we talked about your origin story. I'll include in the footnotes that conversation so people can learn more about you, but we're going to focus mostly on the songs that have shaped you. You
Yeah,
took the
no,
assignment, you picked 10 songs, we're going to go through them.
yeah, it was very difficult to do. Very, very difficult. At first I was like, oh, do I want to pick something from every single mini era of my life? And then I was like, I have so many that I couldn't even decide where to go. Um, it was wild.
Yeah.
It's funny, one of the songs I threw in last minute because I just couldn't. I had too many songs and then I had one empty slot that I couldn't pick from anything. It was yeah, it was hard.
Good. Good. I hope it was at least cathartic and
Yeah,
interesting to do.
it's
This
very
sort of
eye-opening.
Yeah, yeah, and how I usually so when I was a younger person, how I communicated with people early on was through mixtapes or through song suggestions or things like that. And I knew once I got I didn't know it was going to be an auxiliary cord. I thought it was going to be a tape deck.
Mhm.
That I would when I had control of that was mine, and that was very exciting to me. But I didn't get very personal with my life and sharing it. And now I can't shut up about myself. So now I just do both. But how have you been? I've seen you a couple of times since the
Yeah,
last time we chatted. I think we had
yeah.
BurlyCon and Beehoff, and goodness
Mhm.
gracious,
Yeah, I've been
and
good.
And
I've
Fat
been
Lesk.
busy. Oh yeah, yeah. I have been so busy. It has been a wild year of just traveling and performing, which has been really nice,
Hmm.
but it has taken a lot of my time and energy. Um, and so it's so funny. The last trip I took, big one, was Behoff. And
Hmm.
I talked to my therapist that next Wednesday because I was like, I have been sitting at home, bored, like dying, just being like, I don't know what to do with myself. I have no trips coming up or no new acts that I'm working on. And so I started reading. Haven't done that in a long time. So that's been
Nice.
cool. And by reading, I mean audiobook.
I count it. I count it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of books are you reading? Are you a fiction person, a memoir person? What's your
I really like fantasy books. So like right now, I it's been so long since I've read anything. The last thing I read was the Stormlight Archives, which I'm not caught up
Hmm.
on. It's a series. Um, and
Aren't
then
they
I'm looking
all?
on. You're right, right. They are.
Everything's a commitment.
This one, the
There's not
books
a
are thick. They're thick
Ooh.
boys. Like, and I started reading that one because it's my partner's favorite book series. So I was like, yeah, of course. Like, I think for him, very similar to what you were saying with music, like books, like sharing stories is a big thing. So when he was like, "Do you want to read my favorite book series from my lifetime?" I'm like, "Yes, yes, I do." Like you're not gonna be like, "No." And luckily they're good.
Hmm.
So that's good. So more like fantasy. The one that I chose was like a simple YA book. Um, and it caught my attention because it's about these like war correspondents in this kind of like World War II-esque kind of era, but it's a war between gods. So it like mixes the fantasy. It was, yeah, like that idea. I was like, you know what, I'll give it a try. And I ended up liking it a lot more than I thought I would. So right now I'm on the second book of the series. But
It's so funny how we love to take fantasy and science fiction and then add like bureaucracy on top of it.
mhm.
We do it with like Beetlejuice. We do it with any anytime where there's like council. We
Uh-huh.
do-
Yes.
Yeah.
Or like Doctor Who.
Yes. Yes.
Second Time Lords. Uh,
Uh,
yeah.
well, I'm excited to go through your list with you and find out some of the songs that have sort of made you up. Why don't we jump right in and you tell me what the
Yeah.
first song is you got for us?
Yeah. I'll just go in order. So the
Okay.
first song I went with was the very first song that made me want to move my hips. Like this song came on and I was like, do I want to dance? Because so growing up, my family is very religious, and apparently I lived through Footloose. I haven't even seen the
Mm.
movie, but like it was a sin to dance. So you were
Oh,
not allowed to dance.
you lived through the storyline of Footloose. You were
Yeah. Which I need to watch it because I think I'd enjoy it, or it would be very like,
it's fun. It's fun.
uh,
It's frothy.
yeah. But like we weren't allowed to dance. That was a, pretty serious thing.
Really?
Yeah. So I remember kind of listening to music, like being younger and just kind of like secretly grooving a little bit. But when I heard this song, like all hell broke loose. Like I was just like, I need to break it down. And it's so funny that it's the song that it is because it was such a big influential piece of music at the time. Um, I think it still is, honestly. I think like this is like grandfather. Um,
Ah.
but
Now this happens to be in Spanish. Do you think that
mhm.
that was one of the reasons that it came up? Were you listening to mostly songs in Spanish? I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
remember if you grew up bilingual.
So I grew up bilingual, but my family predominantly spoke Spanish. We practiced a lot of English at home. And the biggest thing was I grew up only being allowed to listen to Christian music.
Hmm.
So, and I thought about adding something onto the playlist to be like, well, like these were the songs of my childhood. But I was
Hmm.
like, I don't really want to have to listen to it again. You know,
That's fair. Were they like hymns though, or were they like
mostly
secular,
him.
like Christian rock?
So I listened to hymns with my family, and then I secretly listened to secular, like Christian rock, because you weren't allowed to listen to anything with like electric guitar and like electric like drum kits. No,
That that's how the devil gets you.
bro, like
Yeah.
yeah, it was. Oh, the spirit, yeah, your spirit is moved in wild ways. Apparently, I mean, were they wrong? The moment I heard this song,
That's true.
it was a little awakening of sorts. So
They were right all
yeah,
along. All
yeah,
right,
but
yeah.
I'm excited to hear this one. I love Daddy Yankee to this day, and I actually do have one burlesque act to a song that I've only done a couple of times. Um, but yeah.
Awesome. Well, this is from 2004. This is Daddy Yankee with Gasolina.
Who's this? Súmale mambo pa' que mi gata prenda los motores. Súmale mambo pa' que mi gata prenda los motores. Súmale mambo pa' que mi gata prenda los motores. Que se preparen que lo que viene es pa' que le den. Duro. Mamita, yo sé que tú no te me vas a quitar. Duro. Lo que me gusta es que tú te dejas llevar. Duro. Todos los weekends ella sale a vacilar. Duro. Mi gata no para de janguear porque ella le gusta la gasolina. Dame más gasolina. Como le encanta la gasolina. Dame más gasolina. Ella le gusta la gasolina. Dame más gasolina. Como le encanta la gasolina. Dame más gasolina.
Yes.
That was Gasolina from Daddy Yankee from the album Barrio Fino.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the music video to this was ridiculous. Like my mom actually caught me one time watching this video. By caught me, I mean like it came on in a commercial
Ah,
and like everyone was just kind of watching it, but she looked at me and she was like, "Are you watching the dancers trying to figure out how to like replicate their dance moves basically?" And the horror that went through my body of like, I've been caught, you know? And she thought it was hilarious to say
yeah,
that, you know? Like my family was there, they all were laughing, but I was like, oh no, she's totally right. Like I'm
yeah.
watching these dancers being like, how do they move like that?
Roughly how old were you?
Oh man, when did this come out?
Oh, 04.
So I would have been 14.
Okay.
Yeah, I
All right.
think so.
through what methods did you usually find your little cracks of secular music? Were they through the radio? Was it
Um,
friends giving you CDs?
Friends, like going to like friends listen to music a lot, right? At the time.
Sure.
Um, at first it was CDs, then it was, iPods or whatever. I didn't get to have any of those things, but they would let me listen to their
Yeah.
stuff. Or being in the car, like my family was definitely one of the more conservative families within the religion. Like there's, so many varying levels. So some of my friends were allowed to listen to like other types of music. Um, so maybe in the car with them, I'd get I'd get a hit. I'd be like, give me some of the good stuff, guys. Like,
I guess it makes sense when families are very conservative or they are very restrictive in what media they allow. I think sometimes we can take it for granted, but music is everywhere. It's in every ad, it's in every location, it's down the street, it's in the cars going by. So the opportunity to get like these outside influences, I guess it makes sense why there are so many people who isolate and just sort of keep because then otherwise you'll get exposed to it just by proximity.
yeah,
So
yeah. I think
so
felt
what was
very
so
strongly.
what was so demonic about it? Did they ever give you that
Um,
explanation?
I've never asked. I think for them everything is a gateway drug. Like this leads to that, which like do you remember that book? I don't know if you ever had to read it, but it was like holding hands leads to sex. So like you shouldn't hold hands type of
General
thing.
concept, I
You
recall.
know,
Yeah.
I remember it was like I can't remember which Bible class it was in that yeah, like I had to like later on I went to Christian school. Um, but like, and then my partner at the time we were just friends, like one of my exes, I was laughing because I was like, look at this passage. And he's like, yeah, I mean, if you do it right. And like, I laughed so hard and I was like, I guess it could. So I don't know, dancing leads to sex, I think is what the whole thing is. Like bodies gyrating, like,
Yeah. Yeah, well, because a lot of songs are celebratory or are
yeah,
romantic or things like that. So I guess that's I mean, it's been a minute since I've seen something like
yeah,
Footloose, but that is sort of like the storyline in
yeah,
most like star-crossed lovers. It's a song, and they see each other across from the room, and suddenly
yeah.
Maria and Tony are dancing.
Right. I do know a lot of it too is if you're celebrating, you should be celebrating God. Like everything
Mm,
in life is about God. Like anything that happens, it's praise God. I do something well, praise God. I do something wrong. Oh, you've upset God. So a lot of it had to do with like that was just the whole focus. I wasn't allowed to think about other things.
well, that is so fascinating because you think of a lot of Spanish-speaking cultures as being very energetic music, and
Hmm.
dance being so necessary in its
Hmm.
representation, and particularly praise music or faith music, depending on
Hmm.
the indoctrination that are going. A lot of Catholic is very down tempo, very
Yeah.
funereal. So
Yes.
I guess you're not grooving to that per se,
Yeah.
but
So Adventism was like that too. The music was pretty chill. Um, but I will say this, I will admit to this. So my parents secretly had some music, and some of my favorite memories is us dancing as a family in the living room. Just jumping up and down, like the music was very like when you think of like almost like mariachi, like
hmm
just classic Spanish, even some cumbia, like
hmm
music like that they would kind of listen to. Most of the music, if I did listen to any music that was not Jesus music, it was music that my mom had listened to in her childhood that like has continued, and it's all very PG, like
mm,
Spanish romance songs or like mariachi songs that are not about drinking or anything. Really, the content of music was a big deal too. Like if it was
mm.
the songs we're talking about singing or not singing, sorry, drinking, sex, drugs, anything like that, it was a hard, no.
Sure.
So
For the non-Spanish speakers, Gasolina, what's the storyline of that song? What are the
so
lyrics
that
about?
song is she likes gasoline. Give me more gasoline. She wants I'm trying to think. Like basically, he's like she wants to fuck with me. Like she wants my cum. It's like what the song is about. Um,
Subtle, subtle, subtle,
yeah,
subtle.
yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
just she, yeah, like it's a raunchy, raunchy song. And about her being a raunchy woman, just being hot
Mm,
and like that they're gonna fuck, you know.
yeah. Well, your parents weren't wrong, evidently.
Yeah, this song. Have you seen the video? It's like this little like
Mm-mm.
elementary school kid. It's like online of him singing Gasolina for his like school,
Like
talent
talent show?
show. And like it's like someone is like older being like, "Who let me sing this?" like in the talent show because no one knows what it's about.
Yeah, yeah. Let's get into track number two.
Yeah, so track
Tell me
number
about it.
two. Yeah, so track number two is actually when I listened to music for the first time on my own. Um, and it was still an accident. Like, so I grew up in Tacoma area, kind of Federal Way. The schools that I went to were predominantly like people of color. It was a lot of rap, hip hop, like R&B, lots of, reggaeton, all really great music. But then I found my friend, she would listen to MTV in the mornings,
Mhm.
and I'd go and wake her up. That was our routine every day. I'd wake her up, I'd watch some MTV, which was super fun because what is this? Devil's Channel. And then we'd go, and this is the first time I heard like drums, like rock basically. And it's not even the rockiest of rock, but
Mm.
like this was just like the first time that I was like, oh, this makes me want to move different. You know what I mean? So the Killers are actually one of my favorite bands forever. Just I think because of this, because it was such a um I don't know, like a different type of music that I hadn't really been exposed to before. And that after that I sought out like this like pop punk, like, pop rock type
Hmm.
of music after this, some emo. This was the beginning of it all. So
It's a great song. It is a
yeah.
classic now. It is now 2004. I don't want to alarm you, but it is making it on its way into dad rock, and I don't know how one feels about that. But to be fair, I remember growing up in the 80s and 90s and classic rock being from the 70s. So
That's
it
right. It
only
wasn't that
stands
long
to
ago.
reason. Only stands to reason.
Yeah.
But this is from one of the great albums of 2004. This is from Hot Fuss. This is The Killers with Mr. Brightside.
Coming out of my cage and I've been doing just fine. Gotta be down because I want it all. It started out with a kiss, how did it end up like this? It was only a kiss, it was only a kiss. Now I'm falling asleep and she's calling a cab while he's having a smoke and she's taking a drag. Now they're going to bed and my stomach is sick and it's all in my head, but she's touching his chest now. He takes off her dress. Now let me go. And I just can't look. It's killing me.
That was Mr. Brightside from The Killers. Again, another sinful, sinful song.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's so simple.
Mm.
That's too funny. Uh, I don't even think at the time I cared about the lyrics. It was just
Mm.
like the song. I remember the music video,
Mhm.
like just the colors. I remember the feeling, not the details of the music video at this point, right? Because it's been so
Mhm.
long. But
Mhm.
there being like bright lights and like,
Well, they
yeah.
were a Vegas band, so everything was very flashy, and
Uh-huh.
I appreciated that, particularly in, I guess, sort of like a where color was very frequently only associated with like the boy bands of that
Mm,
era. And so this allowed someone not heavy because it's the Killers. The Killers aren't
right,
particularly
right.
heavy, but it's dudes singing about girls.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's still a little bit more rock and roll.
It
But
is. It is. It was like my this and like because I could have picked so many songs, right? In this little gap of time, it was them. It was the All American Rejects. Like Swing Swing was coming out.
Mm-hmm.
I Write Sins Not Tragedies also
Mm-hmm.
was around this time. Um, like these, all these songs got me kind of into that direction to where I stopped listening to like, you know, mostly rap and hip hop and reggaeton. Like I
You got in
started
your
listening
emo
more.
phase,
Yeah,
basically.
I jumped into the emo phase. And one of my when I think about music, one of my life regrets that has nothing to do with me and everything to do with my situation is
Yeah.
that I was never able to be a scene kid. Like I wasn't
Mm.
allowed to even dress. Like now I dress very alt. Like I have a very strong alt vibe that I was not
Mm-hmm.
allowed to have when I was younger because like they barely let me wear black clothes, like black of the devil,
Right.
like I wear like nice dresses, but like if I wanted anything, like I got away with one of those like My Chemical Romance military-esque style jackets because my mom had not known the connection between
Right.
the two. Um, and that was like the most exciting shit ever that I was able to do that.
Sorry, my picture went away. Where did it go?
Yeah, I just see the cat's face. Is
That's
that
my
you?
Sammy. That's my
Oh my
Sammy.
God, the eye color is
Yeah, there.
gorgeous.
Yeah, he's a little baby there. Look at that. Oh, there's a good opportunity for folks who are listening on the Spotify or the Audibles that there is a video version of this that is available at patreon.com/We Burlesque behind the $1 paywall. You can listen and watch all of them. And my camera went off for just a second, and it's my Sammy. He's up in the cubby right now. So I
Oh,
have
cute.
I have a dresser with a bunch of cubbies and my robes, which I will eventually have to wash because they're covered in cat hair now. He has decided the middle cubby where my Savage Fenty robes are, Samuel,
Oh,
is very comfortable. It's all right. He's not
oh,
scratching them or anything. He's just getting them fuzzy.
but still, yeah,
They'll
yeah,
clean. They'll clean. He's
yep.
good taste. What can I say?
Oh my goodness. Now my dogs like to they like to get into places they're not supposed to be, so I have to keep everything up high because dogs can't jump and climb like that. Um,
No. Well, he's still spry. He's a good 15-year-old now, but he's
oh,
he's still keeping up. He's still going to the heights.
yeah, yeah.
Oh. Now, I don't know this next song, so walk me through track number 3.
Yes. Okay. Um, so I was kind of going through my emo phase, which is not really a phase, but
It's not
I
a
was
phase.
right, it's not a phase, mom. Um, the amount of emo nights I still go to is stupid. But which actually it's wild. The kids are super into it. Like emo has not gone away. So it's these people in their late 30s to these young, I don't know what gen we're on now, 21-year-olds.
What's
Um,
after Gen Z? Gen Alpha?
huh?
What's
I
after
can't keep up
Gen
with
Z?
the the
Gen Alpha, yeah.
okay. What age do they go up to?
Right now, born between 2013 and 2025. So now, uh, which probably will get adjusted as they tend to, because I was strictly a millennial and now evidently I'm a cusper because they decided
Oh yeah.
world events or what have you.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I know that
You're a Z,
millennial
right? You have to be a
I'm
Z.
millennial.
You're a millennial too?
Yeah,
What year
yeah.
were you born?
89.
89. All right. All right.
So millennials goes all the way to 95, I want to say.
I feel like
Uh,
we change it every couple
yeah.
of years.
And I only know, I think it's like 90. I kept track of it one time pretty well because someone I was dating was significantly younger than me, but they were still a millennial, and I was like, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Like, it was like once you get down below millennial, I don't
Oh
know about
yeah. Millennial, they say 81 to 96. Well, I mean, this particular website does, which
yeah,
is Beresford Research, which sounds
someone.
official.
Yes, yes, definitely.
Uh, yeah.
But
So
no,
my
I'm
husband
like,
is Gen X. That I know. My sisters are all Gen X.
mm-hmm,
Uh, well, one of them is a cusper.
mm-hmm.
Hmm.
No, I'm
And then
strong
Gen Z is
millennial in the
97.
middle.
Hmm.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
yeah, with millennial, yeah, we've had millennials have had quite the music, I would say. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean all generations, but I don't know. We've seen such a shift in music.
I think the current generation is a lot about nostalgia. and a lot of it is
Yeah.
I don't know what the current aesthetic is of 2025 because it to me it seems like it's pulling from, I mean they all kind of do,
Yeah, yeah.
from the past, but
Mm.
I
No,
don't know where we're at.
absolutely. No, absolutely. It's all everything's just coming back around.
Yeah,
And it's the
but this
worst of every generation too. It's not the cool stuff. I mean, I sound old.
that's how you know. That's how
That's
you
how I
know.
know that I sound old.
Yeah.
Um,
But
but
yeah,
yeah,
these emo kids and their uncles and aunts.
right, exactly. I actually last night I guess I could talk about this later, but I'll just throw it in now because I'm thinking about it. Last night I went to a punk show. We haven't gotten to my punk phase yet,
Oh,
but
okay.
seeing younger parents with their kids there was an all ages show. So kids, even older parents where their kids are up to the age of 16, but all punked out from like the littles to that age. It just made me so happy to see like the
Yeah.
generation, like teaching your kids about like your music, even if it's like a subculture.
Sure.
Um, I loved it. It made me so happy to see these families there, with the kids just being so stoked. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. I don't know how one rebels then. If you teach your
You become
child
an
counterculture,
accountant and you like you're like
if
mom,
you start
dad,
off
join the
counterculture,
church.
then what are your kids how to
Yeah.
yeah.
So I had a friend actually whose parents were they both were in a metal band, a touring metal band, and she was the most like straight lace, like jeans and hoodie therapist. Like we were in counseling school together. And just, you know what I mean? Like all of this. And she's like, this was my rebellion. Like my parents like,
Mm,
oh, do you want to wear this cool outfit? She's like, no, I would like a plain pair of jeans, blue denim, not black. You know what I mean? So I've
yeah.
seen it and it's cute.
Ah,
Okay, so this next song, because I had such a like I only really listened to what other people showed me.
mm,
This is kind of a theme throughout my life that a lot of the different genres, it's like what other people are listening to. So it's been a journey figuring out what I like. Um, but so that's why everything is all over the board. But
sure.
this next song is once in college, there was an artist that came in. He's actually local from Bellingham, and he's blown up quite a bit since then. And he came and did a concert for the school, and my ex at the time, Aaron. So he and we broke up maybe like 4 years ago. We were together for about like 10 years, so like a lot of my life, and
Hmm.
music kind of has to do with him. And he had for his senior project, he invited Noah Gunderson to come back and play a concert, like a benefit concert. And so this was before Aaron and I were dating, but after like we were like canoodling or whatever. And so we spent a lot of time working on this project together. Like he was working on it, but like listening to the music. And I helped him out with stuff because it was like a big senior project.
Mm,
So this song makes me think about like that era of my life, as well as Noah Gunderson. If you ever want someone who their voice is the embodiment of sorrow,
mm,
um, and melancholy, listen to this artist. There's just something about it. It's really good. And a lot of my music does kind of switch to being melancholic at certain points because that's what
sure.
happens in life. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, he's so great, and I want to go see him. Since he's so local to us in Seattle. Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, this is why did you pick this particular song?
So this song, oh, it just gives me this like heart-wrenching feeling that can only it's not even the content of the song. The content of the song, like the lyrics are good. They're like sad, but it just I have like one specific memory of me and Aaron listening to this in a hotel room in Japan and singing along to it, just singing, while we're sitting. And that memory brings back the memories of the first times we listened to the song together. So it's just a very strong memory with this one.
Nice. This is Noah Gunderson with the song Family from
Yeah.
2011.
Say something awful, as if fucking the world is your right. And I watch you stumble, drunk out into the night, to catcall ladies. You're thirsty for blood, you're picking a fight. And I wanted to ask you, man, what do you do in the daylight? So above me.
That was Noah Gunderson with Family. Very cinematic. Very like closing
Mhm.
credits of a
Yeah.
particularly introspective TV show or film.
Yeah,
Mm.
absolutely. And like the chorus of it, like his voice just, it's so, I don't know, it's like maybe like buttery, but if you mix oil and water and you're watching it swirl around, like it makes me very happy.
Hmm. Most of the, so all three of the first songs, and actually much of your list, if not all of your list, is male and mask vocalists. Do you think that that's a
Mhm.
coincidence, or did you even realize?
I didn't even realize that when you started speaking right now, I knew exactly what you were gonna say. Like when you're like most of, and I was like, oh, they're all dudes.
They're all
Uh,
dudes.
Wait, I think Champagne Drip. Nope, that one's a female vocalist.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
It's a male artist, but a female vocalist. Um,
You got okay, so you have a
yeah, with
feature.
Lucy. Yeah, yeah. But she's great. So I think a lot of it too is male artists are all in my range.
Hmm.
Like I
Mm-hmm.
listen to a lot of music and sing along with it. So
Mm-hmm.
I noticed
Mm-hmm.
that a lot of the artists that I'll sing will be male, but also I think for I was thinking of a couple of female vocalists and bands that I like I took out from being in there. Um, and I don't know why. Like I was like, oh, I love this, I connect to this, but like this specific song like has outshined you. So
Mm.
I don't know. I don't know what that's about.
Who are some of the ladies that you listen to?
So I really like the Distillers. They're really great. I do actually I do actually really enjoy some Miley Cyrus. People got their feelings, but I think she can sing. Her
Mm.
album that came out where she had the song with Dolly Parton, The Rainbow uh, Road, was it? I don't know. There was a like it was like her first kind of like country-esque album. Let's see. Trying to think of the name.
Mm.
It came out a couple years ago. Oh, with the yellow cover. Um, but there it is. Yep, that's the one.
Younger now?
Younger Now. Love
That's it.
that. That's so a couple of her songs actually almost came into it. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. That's a really good question, and I have no idea.
Let's move right along. Track number 4.
Mhm.
Uh, this is
Yeah.
another one that I'm not familiar with, so walk me through it.
So John Bellion is a phenomenal artist. He like does like ghostwriting for other artists. So you've probably listened to a million of his songs that he is not connected, that he's just like written or done. He does a lot of layers in his music, and I love that about music
Mm.
when it's not just one like instrument, like you're feeling all the things come and go and it's dynamic. So he is one of my favorite artists, even though I don't listen to him all the time. He'll just be one of those artists that if you ask me who are your favorite artists, I'm gonna be like, oh, Grizz, The Killers, John Bellion. When's the last time I listened to them? I don't know, like a year or two ago, but they are my favorites. So with this song, this album, The Human Condition, I like it, it's exactly what it sounds like. Like he sings about what it is to be human.
Mm.
And he has such a nice mix. It's like pop, rap with some like every once in a while like elements of like orchestral, choir kind of thrown in there. It isn't just like one specific thing. I think pop would be the closest genre. that it would fall under. Um, and this song, I was going through another breakup, um, and this song was before the breakup though. Like the album, as I was in that relationship, have you ever gone into a relationship really like fast and hard and you're like all in too quickly?
Very quickly, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So this was the first time I had ever had that happen to me, and it was really good. Like, it ended fine. Like we just kind of hit a point where we grew apart. So it never had that like bad fizzle out like some other ones have had. But I just remember listening to this album while I would drive to go visit him because he lived pretty far away, and just feeling really like, when you're like, oh, humanity, like you're all in your thoughts about stuff. But this song would make me cry sometimes. It's called Weight of the World, and it's just about having someone help you hold the weight of the world so you're not
Mm.
doing it on your own. That's really what the song is about. And it did feel like in that moment, like with that relationship, I was having someone help me. Like things didn't feel as heavy as they had been feeling for so long. Um, so this is the song I went with from that album, but honestly, it could have been any of the songs. It was really difficult for me to pick um,
Mm.
which one. And some of them, like Hand of God, is the most beautiful thing ever. Uh, trigger warning for anyone who listens to the album is that he is Christian. Like you can tell there are a couple of lyrics where he's like, "Oh, like I'm trusting God with this," and da 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 da, and then he moves on and talks about like fucking his girlfriend. Like it's very human. Is
Well-rounded,
what it is.
well-rounded.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Like he's not like preaching to you because I can't handle that. But like
Sure.
you're like, oh, this guy believes in like love. He believes in God. He believes in like sex. He believes, just
Yeah.
is very real, and I appreciate that. Like it doesn't turn me off, even with someone with pretty extensive religious trauma. So yeah.
Right. This is from the album Human Condition. This is John Bellion with Weight of the World.
Was 6 feet underground inside my bed, and all the little letters in my head were spelling suicide, but not by choice. Was calling out for help, but heard no noise, no noise. Only the sound of my back breaking. But ever since you and your arms saved me, I don't hold the
Yes, that was Weight of the World from John Bellion. I appreciate you giving me these masculine vocals to get into because I don't
Mhm.
listen to a lot of guys.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
really don't. I really don't. I never really had.
Hmm.
I think the first, well, growing up, one of the few was probably Meatloaf because he was so theatrical and he
Hmm.
was part of my father's collection. And then yeah, actually I'm looking over at my list. Madonna, Tori Amos, Alanis Morissette, Garbage, Fiona Apple, Cher, Lady Gaga, Whitney Houston,
Yeah,
Cyndi Lauper,
yeah.
Mariah Carey, Cindy India, Janet Jackson,
Amazing.
Bette Midler, Florence, Peggy, uh Bertha K. I don't think I have a guy on my list until I guess the Beatles and Fleetwood Mac. Yeah, and they're
Oh
in the
yeah.
20s. They're far down. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's wild. Yeah, no, the majority of my list I have it written over there is like male vocalists. I mean, I don't know. I'm really trying to think like, and it's kind of always been that way. Like female vocalists, the songs that I like are very like I like Adele. Uh
Hmm.
like I'll listen to some Lady Gaga, but it's not like my
Go to.
yeah, yeah. Like I don't
Mm.
connect with it as much.
Mm.
Uh
Hmm.
I don't know, maybe I connect really well to like masculine sorrow. I don't
Sure.
know.
That sort of non-toxic masculinity.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but with John Bellion, like it really pops off after that in the song. And I like it. It starts so pretty, and then it kind of gets into this like EDM-y thing, and then at some point he starts rapping, and then it goes back to really pretty. And I don't know, I love it when songs do that. So,
Yeah, I glanced over at some of the songs that he had written just to see what other stuff he would have done. He's written stuff for Halsey and Eminem and Katy Perry and Selena Gomez. uh Jason Derulo. So he clearly has a very clear understanding of pop music in
Hmm.
general and writing
Yeah.
for different folks. So
Yeah.
I
His most, oh,
no, I was gonna say we've hit a point where the singer-songwriter is so much more predominant again in music where we expect a lot of our artists to have written their
yeah.
own material, which we did like in the 60s and 70s, with our Beatles and Joni Mitchells and Bob Dylan's, um, and our but for a time there was like the songwriters to the point where like musicians would do albums dedicated to one single songwriter, and like those songs would be anyone from like our interpreters of music. So our Bette Midlers are the Supremes. Anyone who wasn't like writing pen to paper themselves very frequently. And so whenever we have someone who is a songwriter for other people, we usually call them a producer. We don't actually say that they're the songwriter very
Yeah.
frequently.
Yeah.
I find that interesting.
That is interesting. But I hear what you're saying. Um, there is such a weird like people be like, oh, she doesn't even write her own songs. Like there's such an attitude around that. And I'm like, people have their strengths, and if songwriting isn't their strength, but they're a great performer and singer,
Yeah.
like F off. Like,
I mean,
you
and
know,
sometimes it happens. Sometimes it happens. I mean, and then sometimes you get like the Beyonce effect where if you take on other people's music and then reshape it to some degree, then they say you're a thief. So that they say that
yeah.
like very frequently that happens. But like I don't think like one of our greatest singers of all time, Whitney Houston, I don't think wrote a song. Like
Mm-hmm.
she was just an incredible interpreter of other
Yeah,
people's
yeah.
words.
And I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Celine Dion. And then we also have people like Mariah Carey who we forget that they also write their own music because
See, I didn't know that.
she does almost
Yeah,
every
because
single
that's
song,
not what I
almost
think
every single
about when
song.
I think of her, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like there's some
Yep, yep,
artists
yep.
that I'm like, yeah, you write your own music, Taylor Swift. Like, and I'm looking at both things. When I think of her, I think of how are you performing it and how are you like what are you writing? But she was
Yeah.
known as like a singer-songwriter from the
Yeah.
beginning. That was her whole thing. Um, the
Right.
transformation of Taylor Swift. Is there a documentary out there? Because I'm sure that that is such an interesting topic.
There's
Uh,
at least several YouTube
yeah.
deconstructions, I'm sure.
Oh my God. Uh, but no, okay, so as you were talking, I was thinking of the different female vocalists throughout time because I was like, oh, like Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera. I mean,
Uh-huh.
like when I was younger, that was a whole thing. Like me
Sure.
trying to learn the dances secretly. I know all the secret dancing of my childhood. But one of the very first artists that I actually listened to was my dad had a Faith Hill CD that I randomly found in his music. So I'd listen to that thing on repeat, like Breathe. I can feel
Mm-hmm.
you breathe. Yeah, that
Mm-hmm.
song, like on repeat. I was in elementary school, I think, at the time. I just remember being in the bunk bed with my sister and just like listening to it. So that song could have made it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many options, so many options.
Well, they say also that so much pop music, if you just change baby to God or capital YOU,
Yeah.
that it's
Uh-huh.
suddenly faith-based. So,
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
Breathe could
Yeah.
absolutely be I was going to say a Faith song, but her name is Faith, so I'll just move right along.
Eh,
Uh, let's talk about Bad Religion.
Yeah, Bad Religion. All right. So I met a boy right during the pandemic, like right when we were able to start going out again, I started
Mm,
dating. And so one of the first people that I met listens to a lot of punk music. And I listened to a lot of pop punk up until this point. I kind of went through this like EDM phase, which we have a couple of songs later, but pop punk, and I hadn't really listened to much just punk, like punk, straight like skate punk or whatever it is. There's punk has so many different types of music. It's wild. Like,
yeah.
what's your flavor of punk? I don't know. I'm like, I can't tell you. But he sent me a playlist of his like favorite songs. And the first round that I listened to it, I was like, this all sounds exactly the same. Like, I can't tell a single song apart, except for Bad Religion. Bad Religion, I was like, I'm like, this is different and I really enjoy it. And so that's how I got in. Like, I started listening to Bad Religion, and this song I really liked for two reasons. One, I love just the song itself, but two, he sent me a video recording of him playing it, and I really liked the guitar riff in it. Like,
Mm,
I was like, oh, like that's really cool. So I think those two things together, like the he sent me a video slash I actually really like musically what this is doing. This song has been one of my favorite songs now for several years. And I'm going to the Bad Religion concert on Thursday this week. They're
cool.
going to be up here in Tacoma. I try to go, whenever they're in town. They've been my top like music artist on Spotify for the last few years. You know how they
Yeah,
tell you
yeah.
who do you listen to the most? It's been Bad Religion. Um, and I love the name because I can't tell my mom I listen to Bad Religion, like the t-shirts, I can't wear them out, like when I go to
Yeah.
house things because the drama it would cause, it feels so rebellious. And if for folks that don't know who they are, I don't rebellious is not I mean it's political,
Yeah.
but nothing about it is like I don't know, maybe my
Satan.
family would be offended because it questions, God. Um, Not the existence, but like the concept of why we believe in this
Uh-huh.
type of God. Um, but I'm a big fan. Big, big fan. Do you
Awesome.
listen to them at all?
I'm familiar with very little of their music, but I
Yeah,
have heard at least a few of their songs.
yeah, yeah. Well, I believe 89 is when they like started out. So like
That
the
sounds
year I
right.
was born. They've been
I
around
was
for a
born in
while.
'83, but
There
I
you
was
go.
also I was raised very, very poppy musical theater.
Ah,
So
yeah, that's good.
I didn't, and again, I didn't listen to guys very
Yeah, that
frequently.
makes
I didn't
sense.
listen, yeah. I didn't listen to a lot of angry seems like a strong word, but I didn't listen to a lot of heavy or music
Yeah, yeah,
until I was a teenager. So,
gotcha.
and
No,
even
that's
then,
fair.
like my gateway was like garbage. Like it wasn't like
Mhm.
Slayer or anything. Like,
Yeah, yeah. No, I love seeing bands that have been playing for as long as they have. Like they've been playing
mm,
for 35 years. That's how old I
sure.
am. Like and they're incredible. And I don't know, I like seeing people that have been playing for a while and kind of how they've changed or how they haven't.
Hmm.
Um, yeah.
Sometimes they can disappoint you because some people live too long and they start saying some bullshit in interviews.
Yes. Yes, they do. Luckily, these guys have not let me down yet. Um,
Yay.
but you never know.
Well, we'll take it in while we can. We're closing out our first half of your list. This is New Dark Ages from Bad Religion from New Maps of Hell.
Yeah, can you hear the call in a rambling land? Susurrations that can expand beyond all hope of light and plunge us into unrelenting night. Upon on truth and reason, it feels like hunting season. So avoid those lines of sight, and we'll set this right. Welcome to the new dark ages. Yeah, I hope you're living right. These are the new dark ages, and the world might end tonight.
Come ye children, let's heed Ezekiel's call. See, if that was done in just a slightly different way, your parents would never know. Like
Oh
if there
yeah,
was
exactly.
a nice acoustic rendition.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, no,
Yeah.
right. Like it's before the king. They sing about God, like before the King of Kings love.
Yeah.
It's something from
Well, they
above.
do say ejaculate in space. Maybe not every word. Like
Yes.
maybe not every line is a winner for your parents.
Yeah.
Music That Made We is a production of Victor Devon, White Elephant Burlesque, and the Burlesque Podcast Network. All original content attributed to Victor Devon. All original statements, courtesy of the guests featured in this episode, may or may not be those of Victor Devon, the Burlesque, or anyone else, even if they are correct. This content may contain copyrighted material that is under the fair use doctrine for educational commentary, criticism, research, or other non-commercial purposes. use of such material is intended to comply with the fair use provisions of copyright law. All rights to the original content remain with the respective copyright holders. Any infringement, while highly likely, is unintentional, unremarkable, and not worth getting mad about. Please visit WeBurlesquePodcast.com for more details about this series, other activities of We Burlesque, and Victor Devon. Like, follow, subscribe accordingly.